just installed the lowering spring on my Honda 300 CRFL, and what I had with it, it's not that it was quite too high. I mean, it was normal for, you know, this type of bike. However, it would be a hair more comfortable if it sat just a little bit lower. And in this lowering spring, right in here, you can see is said to lower this about 1 3/4 inches, which is ideal. But what I really wanted it for was that I don't do a lot of out in the woods with this. This bike I purchased was basically for mostly road riding, trail riding up here, up in New Hampshire, and back roads, dirt roads, things like that. The trails up here aren't, you know, they're ATV type trails. Certain places you can use the motorcycle on. So I like to be able to go jump off of the trail where you're not allowed, get on the road, get back on the trail where you are allowed. So my type of riding for this bike, from everybody that I've done some research with and was talking about the lowering springs, the lowering link, what it does is it helps with the handling on roads and, you know, hard pack things like this. You can see this road, we have private road right here around the lake. That's all hard pack. So it improves the handling on that particular situation. If you are going to use this a lot off-road, they suggest you definitely want to do some adjustments on your front forks after this, because it is going to change the handling characteristic of the bike. For me and my purpose, I'm leaving it just like that because I want the ability to ride this a little better on roads and off-roads. It was super simple. Literally, if you have one of these, you know, this wasn't all that expensive. Viver, I bought it up here because I don't have any up here for ATVs, and I actually want to use it in a little bit for my golf cart too. But it makes your life easier. I have some of these back home, but I also have a full motorcycle lift back home, and so it took me, Jesus, maybe an hour of putting it on the lift, strapping it down. It's extremely simple to do it. Basic tools, but what you want to keep in mind, two things. Your bolts come out this way, so you have a spring here. This is your brake return spring, your lever. Unhook that, get it out of your way. The other thing is, once you've undone the bolts on the factory, and I've got that right over here. Okay, so this is your factory one, your factory link. Now, once you've done that, this will come out fairly easy. You might have to, what I ended up doing was sticking something under the rear tire just to raise it a little bit when I was trying to adjust it and pull the bolts out nice and easy. And you'll definitely need to do that when you put this new link in. Once I've pulled this off, the old one, and when you put the new one on, it's simply a matter of, don't do what I did. I hooked this up originally, both of these, and then went and got the grease gun, and there was not enough room, as you can see in here, to fit that fitting. So I had to take this rear one back out, let this swing down so that was angled down, and then I could get the grease gun up inside there to do that. Also, somebody else complained, and I can see how that might happen. That grease fitting is a brass one. Be very careful with it when you're taking your grease gun fitting off. That gentleman broke his and had to go out and buy another fitting and put it in. He bought a steel one. I didn't have an issue, but I ended up using a bent regular screwdriver and prying behind it nice and easy while I was pulling it off, and it popped off. But I can see how somebody may break that grease fitting off on that right there. So other than that, super simple job. Don't go by what they have written on the lettering here for left and right. If you do that, your label is going to be upside down. They apparently were, whoever made this in China was going by the rear of the bike or the front of the bike. I don't recall whatever it was, but it was wrong for your normal side. This is the Chinese knockoff, and the only reason I decided to use this was the fact that it had a ton of good reviews on Amazon when I bought it, and I'll put a link onto that, and it was like 50 bucks, and it was going to do exactly what I wanted to do. So now all I gotta do is take it off the lift, get her fired up, start taking her for a little bit of test rides, getting used to it on this dirt road up here. And I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to give just that ability. And the other nice thing that people liked, and I'm hoping it's the case with this as well, one of the things with this bike, when you had a stock lowering link on this, that kickstand is a little short, and it would have a ton of lean. So now what they're saying is that even with this link on it, you can still use the stock kickstand, and it actually keeps the bike up better. So that's what I'm hoping is going to work out with this. And maybe I'll do a quick show after that, after the quick test ride with this now with the kickstand down, to see how much it's improved it. So here's the bike now sitting on flat ground, and as you can see, it's much better. That lean and how it stands up a little bit straighter. Before, we were always worried about if it was going to fall over. Half the time I would stick a board under that kickstand. Much better. I'm actually very happy with that. About to fire it up and take it for a ride. So that bike is perfect now. That is absolutely ideal for exactly what I'm looking for to ride it. It's so much more comfortable to ride, easier to pop on and off of. If you're on a spot where it's not exactly level and and you need to park it for a second. I tried it in a couple different spots over there. Extremely happy with that. That was probably the best 50 bucks I've spent on this bike since I got it. Truth will be in the pudding when I start riding it a lot more. But man, it just feels better. Goosing it on these, semi-packed roads. It'll be like that on these dirt trails as well, and dirt back roads. So extremely happy. If you're looking to improve the handling of your bike and the sit and feel of it, and use it mostly for roads and trails, that is it. I'll put the link down in the description.